Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy. We are in Bible study. We are in the Niv, and we are in Genesis. We are going to do chapter 16, verses 1 through 16 in this video. We are going to end up doing comparison language. We're in the Niv through 2025. The end of 2025, and then in 2026 we start reading from the KJV. We start all over again, but from the KJV. We are already starting to do, getting all our data aligned to do the proverb comparisons, but you can start to see that if you were to check out the Facebook page, which has the same name as the YouTube channel. All of 2024 proverb posts, which are done in image form, with a modern translation. Like, here's what it says, and here's how I hear the Cliff Notes version of that. My brain does this naturally. So I can hold a lot of information up there. Anybody who knows me well would be like, yeah, this Encyclopedia Amy is the nickname, and for a reason. So you can see the differences from December 31st is one, because I was playing catch up, Proverbs 1 through 6. January, in the KJV, January 1st, 2025, Proverbs 1 through 6, and the New International Version. So you can see the language differences rather easily for yourself if you would like. But I will eventually do a presentation on the ones that have a big enough difference of how they change the meaning by changing the words. Right now, though, Genesis chapter 16, verse 1. Hagar and Ishmael. Now, Sarah, or Sarai, because it's an I at the end right now, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, for she had an Egyptian maidservant named Hagar. So she said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my maidservant. Perhaps I can build a family through her." Now, Abram agreed to what Sarah had said. So, now think about what that is. That is not God telling Abram to go do that. That is Sarah. Sarah is not waiting for the vow from God to be fulfilled. That's her impatience. Abram agreed to what Sarah said. That's him also not waiting, because someone else suggested it and he said, okay, why not? So after Abram had been living in Canaan for 10 years, Sarah, his wife, took her Egyptian maidservant, Hagar, and gave her to her husband to be his wife. They don't say anything here about how willing Hagar is in this arrangement, so we keep that in mind. He slept with Hagar, and she conceived. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress, because this is not what she asked for. Then Sarah said to Abram, "You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I put my servant in your arms, and now she knows she is pregnant. She despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me." Okay. "Your servant is in your hands," Abram said. "Do with her whatever you think is best." Like, listen, wife. You're the wife. She's not the wife. This is what you wanted. Then Sarah mistreated Hagar, and then you can't do that. So she fled from her. That will happen. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was a spring that was beside the road to Shur. And he said, "Hagar, servant of Sarah, where have you come from, and where are you going?" "I am running away from my mistress Sarah," she said. Then the angel of the Lord told her, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her." The angel added, "I will so increase your descendants so that they will be too numerous to count." The angel of the Lord also said to her, "You are now with child, and you will have a son. You shall name him Ishmael. For the Lord has heard your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand will be against him." He will live in hostility toward all his brothers. So F. Live in the east. Live to the east of all of his brothers. So they will go away towards the east. Remember, his brothers, like any children of Abraham or Abram, are going to be Ishmael's brothers. Because at least half brothers. So, of course, any children of Hagar. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen, or seen the back of the one who sees me. That is why the well was called Bir La Roy. Bir La Roy. With H is Bir La Roy means the living one who sees me. And it's it's Lahai. Actually, I'm pronouncing that wrong. Bir Lahai Roy. Beer as in like B-E-R, like beer. Lahai, L-A-H-A-I. Lahai, and then Roy, R-O-I. It is still there between Kadesh and Bered. Okay. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram had given the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael. So, I don't know why they thought there would be a different result other than, maybe they didn't know that cheating leads to jealousy. But of course, a husband or a wife who are married in that desire, like they desire to be married and they're having that, the soul-to-soul intimacy contact. One of them having that kind of contact with another person, is going to disturb. But they agreed to this. So yeah, it's just it changes things. If you're touching on a soul-to-soul contact and now they're having contact with another soul, it's gonna create a disruption because it doesn't belong there. Because it's meant to be that way, especially for these people. That when they got married, they intended only for each other. So, of course, it was going to eat them alive, and they weren't going to like it. Especially if she was going to get jealous of the fact that she could get pregnant and she couldn't. And it's like, well, he told you would. You just weren't being patient. You wanted it on your timeline and not his. And that's always the mistake we make when we start doing what we think is best, instead of seeing resistance as pause. And look at why there's resistance at all.